Welcome to this Mastery Moment video. My name is Nadeem Rasool and I'm a LastPass Senior Solution Consultant based in the London, UK area. Today I'm going to show you how to increase LastPass user adoption through a command line script that reinvites users to LastPass. So let's get started. For the agenda today, we're going to be answering these 5 questions. Why the need for this script? What the prerequisites are. For example, this script needs Python 3. Where to find the script and download the script. Configuring the script. Any emails considerations we have. And also finally, I'll show you how to run the actual script. Why the need for this script? As you know, in LastPass, we are able to reinvite people on our admin consoles. But if we take an example here with this use case, if you have 500 users in your organization and you have sent out all the standard invitations to all users, what you may find is after 2 weeks, 300 users activated their LastPass vault, the others did not. So what you would need to do is you would need to reinvite the remaining 200 users in batches with separate email. So while we can do this within our admin consoles, what we probably find is that that's quite error prone, and you would have to select all of those 200 users by clicking on them in our consoles. That's really time consuming as well. So instead, what we can do is we can set up a free email list using a custom email template and use this script. So what are the prerequisites? So as I said before, this script uses Python 3. So what that means is you'll need to download Python onto your environment. Where can you get that? So here, as you can see from the screen, is the actual website for Python. What I'll do is I'll actually put the link onto the description down below. All you need to do is you just need to click on download, and then we've got all releases. Here we can download for whatever PC or laptop you have. I'm using a Mac, so I can download Python for Mac, but you can do it also for Windows and Linux. It's quite an easy process, quite an easy installer, but this is the third thing you need to do to run a script if you don't have Python 3. So we go to prerequisites and we set up Python 3 on environment. Now we need to download the script itself. To get the script, we need to go to our GitHub page. Here is the main GitHub page where we store all the LastPass scripts. Again, all I'll do is I'll put the description or link within our YouTube description below. What you need to do here is we just need to download the actual script, and to do that, all you need to do is go to code and download zip. What I will do is I will save it onto my desktop. The actual, typically, normally would be called what the actual repo name is, -main. So for example, for mine, it will be script -main. If I just save that, and that's been saved onto my desktop now. So what I need to do, as it's a zip file, I'll need to extract it. And that's what we're going to do now. So as you can see, I've downloaded the script onto my desktop and extracted it. So what I have is I've got a folder called script main. If I just open that, we have 3 files as well as a README file. The README file will contain the instructions, but in here we have credentials, email list, and the LastPass reinvite Python file. So what we need to do now is we need to put some information within our credentials.json file. Now this credentials.json file needs is the provision hash and the actual CID. And now I'll show you where we can get those details from. So now's the time to configure the script. To do that, here's the actual, I've opened the files within Sublime, or you can use any code editor. This is the LastPass free invite Python script. You can make changes to it if you like. The one that we're interested in is credentials.json. If I open this up, we have to fill in two items in here, the CID as well as provision in hash. I'll show you how to get this information from our admin console. Here is the admin console within LastPass. For the CID, all it is what your LastPass account number is. So you have here that number. You just need to copy down this number and paste it within your CID, within your credentials.json. Now the most important one is the provision in hash as well. So where do we get this from? We will you need to go to Advanced and then Enterprise APIs. Click on it and you get a similar box to here. If you've been using the APIs, then you might get something as shown in my screen, which is you've already created your provision in hash. If you don't know what it is, click to reset. So if you are getting this message, you may want to talk to your IT team to see, is someone using this provision in hash? And if so, can they give you the details? They might want to share it to you via a secure folder with LastPass. But if you're yourself who's using provision hash and just wants to rotate the provision hash key, then you just need to click on reset your provision hash. You'll get a message to say, are you sure you want to do this? Because what will happen is that once you've created it, any program or any script that is using the existing old provision hash will not be able to run, and therefore would need this new provision hash. But for myself, I can click on OK. And here we are. We have the new provision in the hash here. So all I need to do is copy that. And then paste it here. And that's it. So I just need to save that file. And that's my credentials.json set up. That's all you need to do, those two lines. Your CID will be your account number, and the provision hash is where I showed you within advanced and enterprise APIs. So we've now done the configure credentials.json file. We've configured that and we've saved that. So now what we need to do is to choose what email or account we need to re-invite. So if you can look at the screen, I've now gone to the user tab, and what I want to do for this demo, it would be to invite nrasool.lastpass@csv1@gmail.com, and likewise nrasool.lastpass@csv2@gmail.com. As you can see, they've both been invited before, but I haven't accepted it. So how do we need to do this within our script? Well, we've got a file called emaillist.csv. Here it is. So in this, it's just a simple one column CSV file for emaillist.csv, and all I've put in here is the actual email addresses itself. So nrasool.lastpass plus csv1@gmail, and likewise for second. You can create whatever CSV file you would want. It doesn't need to be in this naming convention. The script is actually allows you to call whatever file name you want. So if you want to call it mailing list 1 or mailing list 2, this is how you'll do it really. But I'm just providing you this as an example. So as you can see, I've got 3 users in there. The reason why I put in 3 was just to show you with a status code of what happens when you run it and you use an account that doesn't exist, but we'll see that in the next steps. But all it just needs the actual email address, a new line, email address, new line, and that's the format you would need to go. Doesn't matter how long it would be. With our examples right in the beginning of what we discussed, we would create, we would create 3 batches of this. So we'll call it email list 1.csv, email list 2.csv, email list free.csv, and you can have as many details in here as possible. We try to say keep the batches, smaller, and so it would run quick. But this is the actual format itself. So we've got our details all set up now. So we've got the credentials.json and as well as the email list.csv. Everything set up to save and run. However, what will happen if you would want to configure your email template? How do you do that? Well, this is what we're going to show you in the next steps. So we're going to talk about email considerations. So you may want to customize your re-invite emails for reaching out to those people who have already been invited, but they haven't acted on it. So you might want to make some changes within the email format itself, and this is how we do it. So I'm back onto my screen, and now all I need to do to go into to find the customized emails, we actually need to go to the old console itself. So at the moment we have two consoles, and so for custom templates, it was all on the old consoles, which will be moved at some point. To go into the old console, you need to click on the profile on top, and then we've got this switch to old console. That's the option you need to set. If you were to click on that, what would happen is you'll see this screen come up. So this is what we call the old console. All you need to do to find out the custom templates is go to users, add user, and here where we've got notify new user by email, click on edit preference here, and then send custom email. As you can see, we can change the actual email subject as well as the custom message as well. And in the custom message, you can use some HTML code itself. So what you see here is what the original code is, and what this code will show you when you receive an email is this part here. And this can all be changed. So if you would want to change the actual body of a text, it can be done. You just need to change it. You just need to know HTML or pass this to someone who knows HTML, so they can put some details in here. The only thing I would say is if you want to include any images within the email, make sure those images are stored somewhere locally, stored somewhere publicly. So you'll just put a fully qualified URL in there, and that will just pass and show you the actual images to your users. Once you've made the changes that you're happy with, all you need to do is click on submit. And what normally happens is it needs to go to an approval process within LastPass. We typically take about 24 hours just to make sure there's nothing there that if someone's trying to inject some scripts or anything that could, for security reasons, once it gets approved, you'll get an email to say, yes, you can use that. But that's how easy you can use to change the customized templates. So now we've done our customized templates. We've shown you how to configure the actual script itself. So credentials.json as well as the email list. So now it's the time to run the actual script. Yeah, and I'll show you now how to do that. So like I said before, we've got all our details. We've done our credentials.json file. We've set up our email list.csv. And now what we need to do is to run the script. The script needs to be run in a command prompt or command line interface like terminal within Macs or Linux, and your command prompt within Windows. So as you can see, I'm gone into my terminal here, and then as you can see, I've got all my files all set up. So I'm in the actual location of where my script main is. So to simply run this file, we can type in python3 LastPass underscore reinvite.py. And what that will do is if you just show it, if you just use it without using any flags, you'll just get the usage sign itself to say how to run this. So we've got here python3 LastPass reinvite, C, the credentials.json file, the input file, which will be email list.csv. As mentioned before, the email list.csv can be called whatever you would like it to be. It doesn't need to be that name at all. And you can just if you want to do it in batches, then you can just do like mail list1.csv, mail list2.csv, mail list3.csv. The script also supports pipe as well. So if you don't want to see anything on the console, but you want to put it into a file, then you can just pipe it and just call what the actual file name is as well. So for me, I'm just using all the defaults. So there we are, Python 3, LastPass, underscore reinvite.py, the credentials, and then the email list.csv. If we execute that, it loads the account and the provision hash, and as you can see, it will execute the reinvite to all those users that are contained within email list.csv. What will happen is that the actual program will output the actual email address and the status of it as well. So in here, we've got nrasool.lastpass@csv1.gmail.com. The status was okay. Likewise, the status was okay on the second one. Now, previously I said I'm just going to put in a third one to show you. This is what I meant here. So we actually get the information back from the servers. So you can see if you put an actual user that does not exist, you will actually get a failure error message come up to say user not found. So this will be useful for you to track down if there's any mistakes within your email list.csv, and you'll also produce, and if there's any other error messages, likewise you'll get an error message pop up here. So as mentioned before, if you want to create a log file within this, so you don't want it to show up on screen, but to actually put it within a text file so you can pass that to someone, what you need to do to create this log file will be to pipe it. So as you can see on the screen at the moment, we've got the same command again, Python 3 LastPass reinvite.py, the credentials as well as the email list.csv. Also you have a space, and then we'll pipe out to log.txt. When we talk about pipe, we mean the shift, the greater than sign. Just use that really. And then if we just execute that, nothing happens on screen because it's all been all the information that's been put into the actual log file itself. So if you can see on the log file, you can see a log file is generated, log.txt. Show that. So if I can do that, cat.log.txt, you can see now all the information is within our log file.txt file. So that's just another way of if you just want to, when you're doing batches, you can actually append to this log file, or you can create different log files, and then you can see what was successful within the reinvite script and what was a failure and what those failures are. And so these can be useful for you to troubleshoot. So that's all there is to the script itself. So to summarize, we have seen an easy way to increase LastPass end user adoptions. We've examined all the prerequisites, including the installation of Python and downloading the script files from GitHub. We then reviewed the LastPass administrative consoles in order to see what the email will look like and also how it would be delivered by text. And finally, we've tested the script, reviewed the sunny day confirmations, as well as common errors. I hope you find this video useful. If so, why don't you actually just try to subscribe and like this video as well, and so you get notified for the next one. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Take care.